So YouTube, CFX here back with another video. And in this video, this is going to be a mindset video, but I kind of want to walk you guys through like what I was thinking, mistakes that we probably all have made before, more than likely, and how to prevent them in a way, you know what I'm saying? So how to not overthink while we're in a trade. So I'm gonna walk you guys through my knowledge trade that I ended up taking yesterday morning, which was Friday. So trying to figure out. Okay, so yeah, it was definitely around here. So while I was taking this trade, right, going through this trade, I was in profit. How many times have you guys probably been in profit in a trade and then you probably slowly started to see it like come back down a little bit? Like let's say you go up $100 and then it slowly starts to go back down to like 20 and you like, oh crap, $100 just left out my hands. Like I need to get back up. Or you probably thinking like, dang, I should have closed out a profit. You know what I'm saying? I should have took profit when I was up that much. But instead you may either have let greed come into effect or you just didn't have the knowledge to know that it was about to get ready to reverse or whatever the case may have been. Right? I know a lot of us has probably went through that. Also, how many times have you either probably taken a trade and you move your stop loss into profit and like let's say you're up 100 points, right? You're up 100 points. You move your stop loss into profit and you only came out of that trade with like let's say a quarter of that. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that. All those type of things that affects how you may trade in the future or affects how you are thinking while that trade is going on, especially if you are scalping or something like that. So it's kind of what I'm about to go over today. Like I'm gonna go over how I was feeling in the middle of this trade. And I'm gonna go over like what did I see after the trade that literally caused me to be like, you know, there was no need to panic or there was no need to overthink what was going on. And it really comes from having yourself too immersed into the trading, into the market. And all you had to do was just take yourself out for a little bit, right? That's all you had to do. So just like right here, on the candlestick chart, right? We see that the market, you know, dropped all the way down. It formed a higher low. You know, we see a wick come all the way back up to here again. But if we look at where this candle closed, it closed right here. Even though our wick is all the way up here, the market actually ended up, or the candle ended up closing right here, right? So just looking at this, we're probably thinking like, okay, this market definitely wants to buy up, right? It definitely wants to buy up because the buyers are flexing their power right now. They're flexing that they're in control of the market. Look at all this bullish momentum going up. It just broke this high right here. It created a higher high from here to here, created a higher low from here to here. You know, we're looking at all of these things, right? We're looking at all of these things. But if I zoom out, what has happened? The market is actually not doing anything but coming back and retesting a zone that it just broke out of. It just broke this support. So if I go to the 4 hour, you guys will see that the market actually only ended up, let me hide this. So the market actually only ended up breaking this support right here and came back and retested it as a resistance, and it was wicked out. It was just wicking out, right? It came back, broke this support, and came back and retested it as a resistance, right? And if we look at all of this momentum, this is very bearish momentum going on right here. So we got bearish momentum going on right here. It kind of, it came back into that zone. But what ended up happening was, it was like, okay, I'm back into this zone right here. Of course, buyers are in this zone, but what still ended up happening? It still broke through, right? So going back to the 5 minutes, like we have now taken a step outside of the market, and we have we see, okay, yes, it looks like a lot is going on, but it's really not. You know what I'm saying? It's really not. That's what I mean by taking yourself outside of the market real quick. Taking a step outside and looking at the bigger picture. So as I play this, you guys will see, like I was saying, we got this wick rejection right here, and then boom, we get this very bearish candle. Now, I saw the wick rejection, and I was like, okay, this is about to sell down, right? And you guys see, I popped my entry right here at actually my entry was at 13,745, and then my TP was a little bit lower. My TP was going to be set a little bit lower, but my entry was at 13,745, and then I did have my stop loss outside of here. So I had my stop loss outside of there, right? And I had got this big wick rejection. So I took an entry right here, and then I took an entry at 17 on a 13,724. I had took an entry at 13,724. So like right here was where I had ended up taking my second entry, because I was like, okay, it's definitely gonna get ready to push down some more, right? So I took that entry right there, and now I'm sitting in great profits. I'm sitting in great profits. Right now I'm sitting back chilling. I mean, and I'm like, okay, this is definitely gonna go down some more. It just broke out of a zone, so it's about to go down and create another zone, which means it's about to go down even lower. You know what I'm saying? So that is my whole thought process. Overall, I knew what the market was going to do, right? I knew what the market was going to do, because in a meeting just before the meeting that ended up happening, I believe Thursday, Chairman Powell was already talking, or he had his testimony, and he said some things that would greatly impact the market, and it affected tech stocks. I knew it was going to affect the stock market in a negative way, which is what the NASDAQ is made of. It's made of the top 100 stocks in the New York Exchange. So I knew that the market was going to continue to drop today, right? Or drop that Friday, which is on the day that I'm trading right now. So I knew that the market was going to continue to drop. My mind was already made up on the overall movement of the market, right? And I knew that up here was going to be great positioning. If I could get a position right up here on the retest, then I knew it was going to be great positioning. I was going to be pretty much chilling, right? Even though in my mind, I knew the overall movement of the market, where it was going to go, all those great things, my emotions still came into play, because I was up a lot, and I just got to thinking about past mistakes where I let trades go on too long, and I either got stopped out after seeing great profits, or I ended up like missing a trade, or whatever the case may have been. I basically thought of bad past results, and I was like, okay, I do not want to repeat those mistakes. But on the other hand, I knew the overall analysis of my trade. I knew where the market was going to go to, and I was just thinking of reasons, just to hop out of the trade, basically. Even though I knew where the trade was going to go, I kept on convincing myself reasons to hop out of the trade. So this is where the market started to pull back a little bit, and I was like, okay, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? And this is actually where I ended up getting stopped out. So, like I had said, I had first moved my stop loss. I had moved both of my stop losses, actually, even for my position up here, to 13,724. And I will actually mark that off. So 13,724. So this was my second position. Let me just make it green for right now. So I had ended up moving my stop loss right to here. And now I have been stopped out of both positions, right? Even my position that was all the way up here. I now have been stopped out of both of them. So now it's like, okay, it just stopped me out. Like I thought the market was about to continue to sell down. You know what I'm saying? We got these very bearish candles here. And for sure, the market is not about to come back up here, right? Wrong. It actually ended up coming back up and stopping me out of both positions. So now I'm in a way of like, dang, all their profit just left out of my hands. You know what I'm saying? All of their profit just gone that fast. This was in a span of 10 minutes that the market ended up coming up and taking me out of my profits. So now I'm in a stage of where it's like, okay, I got to hurry up and get back in. You know what I'm saying? So I did actually end up hopping back in, like right here. And it ended up going back up again. So it had went down, but then it had ended up, this long wick right here ended up coming all the way up here again. I'm like, oh my God, like what is going on right now? Confused, don't know where the market is going to move to. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know what to do in this moment because the market was moving very wildly. You know what I'm saying? It was moving very wild. And I was already stopped out of like great positions. And now I'm just in a spot where I'm like big out of profit because I tried to hurry up and hop back inside the market. And it's almost like I'm in a state of panic, but I'm not panicking. You know what I'm saying? I'm not panicking, but it's like I'm just trying to hurry up and rush back into the markets because I just got stopped out of my positions that were going to give me a big win. So we continue to play the charts, and this is where I ended up seeing this candle right here. Now, I'm still in my state of mind where it's like, okay, this market is obviously about to come back up, right? Like, I don't know what it's about to do now. I just got stopped out. I'm seeing this bullish momentum going on here. Like, what is going on right now, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm kind of upset, but I'm also in a state of like, dang, like, do I want to hop back in? Do I really want to hop back into this trade when I'm seeing this type of momentum? Like, just not about to get ready to sell. You know what I'm saying? Even though in my mind, like I said, my overall analysis before even this started happening was the market is about to sell down big. You know what I'm saying? It just broke below the support that was holding this market up. It came out of that zone. It's going to come back up and retest it, and it's going to go down even lower. That was my overall analysis, which is why I was looking for the sale in this moment. That's why I was so big on the sale. And I ended up taking like multiple positions and kept getting stopped out on all of them. Like it was like I kept taking L after L because the market wasn't moving how I was wanting it to move in that moment. And then some of them I was like, okay, if I go out of profit this much, I'm gonna just cut my loss short. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even set a stop loss on some of them. I think like on my third and fourth position that I ended up taking, that's what I ended up doing. I just ended up closing out of the position because that was when it was starting to buy back up all the way. And I was like, yeah, like, you know what? Forget it. It's over with. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just take my L. I'm going to cut my loss short, but the market obviously is not about to sell. But if you look at what is going on here, what is the market actually doing? Yes, it's doing all of this wild movement, but it's still creating lower highs. And if I switch to the line chart, you can see it clearly. You see how simple the market looks now? All the noise has been taken out. And now I'm just looking at a line graph, and we could clearly see that the market is creating lower highs. So it's like, okay, even though my mind wasn't seeing that at the moment and it's seeing it afterwards, it's like, thinking back on it, there was no need to panic. My analysis still held true. It was just a lot of noise going on in between. So even in this moment, I'm watching the market and still knowing or still pretty much thinking like the market is about to sell down, but I don't know when it's about to sell down now. Like, is it going to go up higher? What is it about to do? That's what I'm thinking in this moment. I'm thinking like, okay, I'm gonna just watch what it's gonna do. Or you know what? I'm done taking positions. I'm gonna just sit here and watch it. And it was more so in the state of like I had given up a little bit, because even watching this now, or even when I was watching all of this happen, I'm like, yeah, it's finally selling now. Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It had taken me out of all my positions, and now it's finally selling all the way down here. I would have hit my first TP right here, and I could have taken partials or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now we actually want to come all the way down here again. And at this point, I'm kind of a little bit upset because of I didn't hop back in this position, even though I was saying to myself, like, okay, I could hop back in right here. You know what I'm saying? I could hop back in because it's right here around where I took my first position. That was at the 745 point or price. And I was like, well, how do you know that it's not probably going to buy up anymore? You know what I'm saying? Like, just talking myself out of that position. I was talking myself out of it. And that is a big mistake when you are trading. Yes, it's good to come up with reasons as to why you probably want to close out of a trade, or if the market does this, then this trade is no longer valid. Yes, it's good to come up with those type of trades. But when it gets to the point to where you're talking yourself out of a trade, out of nervousness or fear, then that's when it becomes a problem. And you don't want to do that. So at this point, I had already talked myself out of this trade and hopping back in, even though it's doing exactly what I was wanting it to do. Like, I could have hopped back in up here, or even on this candlestick, because this bearish candlestick had engulfed this bullish one. Even though we had got an inverted hammer and then a bullish candle, what still ended up happening? It still failed to create a higher high. But at that point, I'm thinking, okay, I see these two candles now. How do I know that it's not going to buy up anymore? Right? I see these two candlestick patterns, the inverted hammer and then the bullish engulfing candle. How do I not know that it's going to buy up more? You know what I'm saying? Well, once you saw this candle right here, this bearish candle, this red candle, then that should have been your confirmation that, okay, it was pretty much just like, you know, I wouldn't say a fake out, but it's like, it's just about to know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And plus, if you are a candlestick pattern trader, then you know that all candlesticks doesn't hold true all the time. You know what I'm saying? All the candlestick patterns doesn't hold true. Because if you want to be honest, what is this right here? This is a can't remember what it is, but when you get like 3 consecutive candlesticks like this, usually a reversal is about to happen and the market is going to buy up. You know what I'm saying? It's going to go on an uptrend, right? Just from this type of candlestick pattern right here, right? That's what we would normally say, right? But what ended up happening right after this candlestick pattern, a bearish engulfing candle that overtook all 3 of these. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that is what you need to consider. Like, you need to think about that stuff. Don't panic, because all I should have did was just simply switch to a line chart and be like, oh, this is nothing. It actually created a lower high. It looked like it was going to go up, but it didn't. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that is why you need to take yourself out of the trade for a second, analyze the market, see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because as I continue to play it, it created a lower high and it created a lower low. It broke this low right here. So even if I miss this opportunity right here, where's my next opportunity to hop in this trade? Right here on this retest of this wick right here. Right? Or I think it comes up one more time, or coming to that range. It came into that range with this candlestick wick right here. But just simple stuff like that. Instead of giving up, once you see that your analysis held true, your analysis is still valid, then just look for other opportunities to hop into that trade. But that was pretty much like my thought process. And you guys see how easy it is to overthink and panic in situations where there's no need to, right? Especially when you are live trading, when you are scalping the market. It was so much going on, but all I had to do was just step outside of the market. Just step outside. Don't get too immersed into it. And then, exactly as I said, the market ended up, yeah, it did come up there one more time. Ended up selling all the way down, just like I was expecting it to. So simple stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? I could have caught this full trade right here, but because I started thinking with my emotions instead of sticking to my analysis, I missed out on $438 points on Nas. So hopefully this video helped you guys. And what I do recommend is write down your emotions while you're in a trade. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're scalping, like write down your emotions, write down what you are feeling, what you are thinking, and the moment of when you enter a trade, right before you enter a trade, while you're in the trade, and after the trade. So you can study yourself. You need to study yourself as much as you study these charts, because that's what's going to allow you to succeed as well, because trading is mostly psychology. It's a lot of psychology. So, you know, like right after this, I ended up writing down my emotions and how I could prevent this from happening next time that I live trade, or how I can just relax the next time. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully this video helped you guys. And if so, you know, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. I'm out.